are going to be training with Jazzy. I love Taco Bell.
We'll get into the questions.
Prep robot.
Because my coach didn't let me have anything. I don't know.
I already decided no, but now I'm so motivated.
It's game time and I'm up one. Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise.
To our winner, Julia, Rene.
Good morning, buff babes and bros, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Julia Rene, and I am an IFBB Wellness Pro, and today we are on our way to Houston, Texas. So I live in Austin, Texas, so it's about a 2.5 hour drive, and I am about an hour out right now, and we are going to be training with Jazzy. Today, I'm assuming we're going to be doing some legs, and we're going to do a little Q&A for you guys because she is also a competitor. She's a bikini competitor, so it'll be awesome to get to know her a little bit better and get some insight into her competing journey and just her life in general. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So I did have breakfast before I left, and since I've been tracking my macros now, I have a lot more, let's say, flexibility when it comes to eating the things that I want, because as long as I can just fit them in my macros, we are good. I still eat very healthy, and now that we are officially on the Fit Couple Shred, I still want to stay on track while I am on the road. So I had breakfast, but I pulled over to get something from the Starbs. I've never tried this before. I like things that are very filling, and usually that have like a good amount of protein in it. So I got the chicken panini because I usually get the feta egg white one, but egg whites aren't as filling as like, whoa, as chicken. So look at that shit. Is this chicken? It looks dark. Let's try it. Oh no! I dropped it. That's really good. I also got a orange dreamsicle Rene. This is my favorite flavor of Rene. I'm going to use this as the pre-workout for later, so I just got it now. And then, just in case I need it, a little sniggity snack. These Quest chips are amazing. You saw them in my last video. They're only 140 calories for one bag, 5 grams of fat, 5 grams of carbs, and they're super crispy. Like when you bite into them, they're so crunchy, and I love that. So I haven't tried this taco one yet. It looks like a Taco Bell themed bag, and I love Taco Bell, so I'll try these later. Okay guys, I am here with Jazzy, or JazzyFit, the beautiful Jazzy. We just found out like a year ago, and I've been following her for such a long time, and I think she's gorgeous, and I love what she stands for, and we figured we would do a Q&A together. So most of the questions are gonna be kind of bodybuilding related. You guys know that I'm in wellness, and Jazzy did bikini, and you won your last show, the overall, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, and it was just so incredible. So we're gonna do a lot of questions that have to do with that. So let's get into it.
Okay, so we'll get into the questions. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so question number 1. How does it feel like stepping on stage? I'll let you answer that one first.
Okay. So I thought that it was gonna be absolutely terrifying because you have a ton of people staring at you and these giant bright lights just in your face. But honestly, I knew that bodybuilding was for me when I stepped on stage, and I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
I was like, right here, this is my moment. It was really scary. Like when you're posing, I was literally like shaking. Not out of like nervousness, more out of like, it's really hard to hold poses.
Yeah.
But it was just, there's nothing like it, and you'll know right when you step on stage if this is something that's for you or if it's not for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you first start, it's even scarier, but I think like with the more competitions that you have under your belt, the more like, it's easier because it feels more comfortable. But I will say what's helped me, especially with this last show that I did, was just practicing, like making sure you were prepared for that stage. Like when you're on stage, it's an incredible feeling. Like you know, you said it's amazing, and you'll know automatically if it's for you. But every competitor is just as nervous as you are, because there is so much to think about. Like, it's not just about smiling up there, because you do have a whole posing routine. So holding your posing, making sure your abs are tight. There's so much that goes into it. But once you're up there, like, it's just an incredible feeling.
I think that everyone, if you're even like slightly interested in it, I think you definitely need to try it.
Yes.
Just to see if it's for you. And then you can say, okay, this is for me, and maybe this is not for me. And you'll know pretty quickly.
Yeah, you'll know pretty quickly. Number 2, how to let go of others who don't understand the sport.
How to let them go. Just let them go.
just say goodbye.
Bye.
No,
I know it's not that easy.
No, it's not. For the sport, you really do need a good support system. I will say that, like, having people or even a significant other who doesn't understand what you're about to go through can really be hard. Very challenging. So I don't know if you want to give any.
I feel like maybe in the past, so when I was first getting into bodybuilding, I think that's when I had the most pushback from family members and from friends.
Yeah.
So when I first started getting into bodybuilding, the friends that I have, I can tell you right now, none of them are my friends now. Not because I necessarily said, you're not my friend because you don't support bodybuilding. It's just that our lifestyles didn't align. And if you're not aligning like that with the people that are around you in your circle, you're either going to do 2 different things. You're gonna stay there and you're gonna be really miserable, or you push past and it's uncomfortable for a short period of time, and then you realize, like, okay, this is why this happened, because there was something out there that was better for me, and I couldn't be open to receiving it until I let something go.
Yeah.
So once I let that group of friends go, just slowly it just kind of dwindled out. They like to go out, they like to drink, fitness wasn't a priority. I would get made fun of a lot for like bringing my food around, and I was just always like, I was like the joke. And then once I, you know, slowly let them go, I was able to find this new group of friends that were super supportive.
Yes.
Some were bodybuilders and some weren't, but they just understood, like, it's unbelievable, but you have to be willing to go through that uncomfortability of letting people go. Yeah. Unless you're gonna be stuck if you don't.
Yeah, and it's like you said, like, it's not like you go tomorrow and you're like, cut out, like, bye. No, it's sometimes like relationships will just dwindle out, because the same thing with me. Like, at first, a lot of people didn't understand and they would make fun of me, but thankfully now, everyone I surround myself with, they don't have to be on prep, but they understand my grind. So they'll understand that, oh, I have to bring meals, or this, or like I prioritize my gym sessions, which is so important to me, because for me, it hasn't really been about the food as much as, like, my family doesn't understand why I work out so much. Like, they don't understand that. They're like, oh, the gym again? Why do you have to go to the gym every day? Like, they kind of like have a hard time accepting that, because even when I go travel with family, I still prioritize the gym because it's my lifestyle. And they're like, wait, are you gonna go to the gym while you're here? And I'm like, yeah, I have to. Just let me know what time you want me to be at whatever social gathering. I'll make it happen. I'll be at the gym before it even inconveniences you, but I still have to make it a priority. But now with friendships, like, thankfully I'm at a point where everyone understands. And if you're about to go into prep or you're about to diet, just sit your family or your friends down and say, hey, like, I'm about to go on this journey and it's gonna be really tough for me, so I just need some support. Can you do that for me?
And I think that the one thing that you said that really stuck out to me was that you communicated these things. And that's something that I didn't do the first prep. I was just like separating myself, and nobody understood why. But the second time, I was literally like sat my parents down and was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm very serious about this. And I even just let them know. And it made it so much easier because they weren't offering me food. They weren't saying, like, why do you have to do this? It was tough for them to see me suffer the way that I did, but they knew that it was for a greater purpose, and it was all just came down to communication.
So next question leads us kind of to this one. Do you have to tell friends no a lot? I don't know if you have current friends that you have to say no to. Like,
not any current friends, but in the past, yes. So I'm just kind of, I guess right now I'm gonna put myself into someone else's shoes that is surrounded by people that they have to say no to. I feel like explaining the why behind why you have to do what you have to do, kind of like how Jazzy said that she prioritizes going to the gym even when she's on vacation, but she's not doing that for any vain or ridiculous reason that people think. She's most likely doing that, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because it's good for her mental health. It makes her feel confident in herself and gets her day started off right. And that's the majority of the reason why we do what we do. Not because we want to look our best, it's because we want to feel our best inside, and working out really does that.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about it that way. To others, I'm sure it's like, almost like, I guess it does come off like, oh, she just wants to look good.
You're better than us by working out, and like, that's really not it.
I don't go work out because I'm like, oh, I have a tight dress today I need to fit into. I go work out because it's part of my lifestyle, like you said, and it makes me feel good to have, my body just feels good when I move around, especially if I know I'm gonna be on vacation and most of it's going to be eating or sitting down, like, and communicating with family. I need to get a workout in so that my body just feels good. I have more energy, and it's just part of my lifestyle now. But yeah, I don't have, thankfully, friends now that I have to say no to. Occasionally, like on prep, like, they'll know, like, hey, we're gonna go out. We just wanna invite you out of, you know, respect, or we wanna be nice, but we know that you probably are not gonna come out. And you're like, no, we know, we appreciate it. But I say no. And they are very understanding. And it was something I was telling Julia too. If you have friends who don't have the same lifestyle, that is completely okay. And you can still hang out with them. You can just tell them like, hey, I'm not gonna be going out to dinners and party and stuff like that, but how about one of the weekends you come over and we play a card game, or we paint, or we do a puzzle, or you do whatever the heck you wanna do, but it doesn't revolve around food. That way they can still be a part of your life and feel like, okay, you're not completely shutting them down, and you still feel like you're doing something out of just your normal routine, because during prep, it's so easy to just be like, wake up, cardio, eat, cardio,
you literally turn into like a prep robot, and you just like wake up and go to sleep.
Yeah, it's literally ta 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 ta. So it's kind of nice, but if you have to tell your friends no, don't be, I guess, like, ashamed of saying no. Like, you have to, especially if you're gonna compete and you're gonna take your physique to the next level, you're gonna have to say no a lot. Next question. How do I start the bodybuilding lifestyle?
Ooh, you just do it. I mean, if you want, I'm a firm believer in, like, you act like the person that you want to be. So for me right now, and I can give you like a personal example, since I came back from the Olympia, anytime that I want to make a decision that is off of my track of what my goal is, I say to myself, what would Miss Olympia do? Yeah. And then that drives me to make the decision that is actually true to myself, because our brain is going to sit there and tell you to eat the bad thing, to not go and train, to show up terribly in your relationships. And it's so easy to feed into that. And as long as you have like some sort of grounding statement that brings you back down to earth. And for me right now, it's, what would Miss Olympia do? Yeah. I completely forgot about the question, but that allows me to live the bodybuilding lifestyle that I know that I need to in order to reach that goal.
Yeah, and I mean, starting, like, you know, you said, it's just doing it, like working out, setting a routine. I think most importantly, setting a routine. That's gonna help you out the most, and sticking to the routine. With any aspect of your life, especially with bodybuilding, more than anything, you have to be disciplined. You set a routine. I don't care what time you went to bed. I don't care if you didn't freaking get any sleep. If you set the alarm at 6 a.m. because you needed to train at 6 a.m., your ass needs to get up at 6 a.m. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, that's more than motivation, more than anything. You need to be very disciplined, and that's how you start. Okay, next question. How long into prep did you cut sugar-free foods out?
So I did 2 weeks out because there's nothing wrong with having like sugar-free options. Like, I'm like the #1 promoter of like, put the sugar-free stuff in, put the Splenda or the stevia, use a sugar-free syrup, because at the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. So, but once you get to a point in prep, your body is so susceptible to bloat and discomfort in your stomach because you're eating like a bunch of whole foods. So at the 2-week mark, Zach, who's my boyfriend and my coach, who cuts out the sugar-free stuff so that we can remove as much bloat as possible and then go into peak week with a pretty clear set point, I guess.
Yeah. For me, it's different. Like, the preps that I've done, like, I've cut them out like 3-4 weeks prior. This last prep, I had almost none during my entire prep. Because my coach didn't let me have anything. Dang. Like nothing. And I did everything like super hardcore. I'd probably have like a sip of a Diet Coke here and there. But that was it. Just listening to your body, because I think like what you said, it just causes a lot of bloating, and you'll notice, because I notice in my body when I cut it out, it sucks ass, but your body just responds better. You're not as bloated. So cutting it out maybe 2-3 weeks before your show will help, but everyone's different. I definitely would not do anything past 2 weeks, because you kind of want the week before peak week to kind of like help you flush any like bloat out. But yeah, girl, if I do another prep, definitely gonna keep the sugar-free stuff. Yeah, because
it saves you so much.
Yeah, it does. Okay, next question. How do you stay body positive off season? Man, that was a hard one.
I'm gonna be honest, it's really hard.
Yeah, it's
like
hard.
Really hard. I struggled with it. I just want to like pat myself on the back, but I'm doing a lot better this time around.
Oh no, I want to pat yourself on the back because you're doing so much better.
She's seen it all too, because I mean, I literally went to 170 pounds. How tall are you?
5'4".
Okay, I'm 5'2". So imagine being 170 pounds, like with it. It's a lot of weight for our size.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's
nothing wrong with being 170 pounds, but there is a set weight and a set point that your height and body should naturally be at. And I literally, what really just triggered me to know that something was wrong is I was walking downtown Austin with my boyfriend. I was meeting his dad for the first time, and I was walking and I couldn't even walk. I was complaining about walking because my ankles hurt and I was like wheezing. Yeah. I was like, this is terrible. I'm an athlete. Yes. And I can't even walk. Oh my God. It was just too much weight for my body to handle. So I had a really hard time with the whole body positivity thing my last show. And I'm not gonna lie, there was times that I didn't look in the mirror, that I would just, I would wear certain things and dress a certain way to hide myself as much as I could, because it was really hard day to day. And it wasn't more so the way that I would look at my body. It was that for sure. It was more so the guilt and the shame that I felt because I let myself down. Yeah. That was overwhelmingly unbearable some days. But this time I'm doing a lot better.
I think for me too, like with my off season, I did so well this last show compared to all the shows that I've had. I did really, really well, and I'm just like really proud of myself for it, because
it's a hard thing.
It's a hard thing to do, but I tried so hard to keep up with like my routine as much as I could. I scaled back cardio from like 2 hours to like an hour, and it felt like a breeze at that point, because
you're like, shoot.
Yeah, you're like, I can do an hour, because you're used to 2 hours. So just scaling it back a bit, and then still kind of like making sure you don't buy the junk food at home, because I think a lot of competitors, what they'll do, they'll get all this food and they'll keep it all there. I told my friends, I'm like, don't give me a lot of food like after my show, like just give me a few little candies.
That's what I told my parents after this last show. I said, no food, no cookies, no nothing, because you're gonna have it afterwards and throughout the week. So I'm like, just no. Yeah. If you want to bring me something like flowers or I don't know.
Yeah, the least temptation after your show, the better. But yeah, like it's having everyone, I think every competitor deals with it, like the body dysmorphia after prep. And not only because you could be as perfect as you can be with your reverse and you're still gonna have it, because you're gonna naturally put on body fat. You're gonna look bloated after your whole peak week. You're gonna, like, your hormones are gonna be a wreck for a little while, no matter how perfect you are. For me, what helped me is like, I knew like, after my show, I was like, okay, I'm gonna deal with like hormonal imbalances, water weight for a few months. It's gonna take me a few months. So just having kind of like, okay, by February and March, I'm gonna start feeling better, and just kind of working towards that every day. I didn't like look at myself in the mirror every single day and like pick myself apart. I did hide in my clothes for a little bit, and I think that it's okay. Like if you know that you're doing everything you can, like you're doing cardio and everything, like I think it's okay to hide yourself and not pick yourself apart, because I think a lot of people
are like,
what
you need to do.
If that's what you need to do.
That's what I needed to do.
That's what I needed to do. I was like, I don't want to look at myself in the mirror, because I'm not going to be positive. I know I'm not going to be like, you look great.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to stand there and be like, yes, girl. Yeah. It's hard.
It's hard. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even look at myself. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm just going to like get pretty, do whatever makes me feel confident, comfortable, go to the gym, do my routine, and I know and naturally itself will like work itself, like, you know, I'll feel better. And I did. By February, March, I felt great. I was like, okay, I feel good. My body's finally balancing out, but I had to make the steps necessary to like get my body in check.
You have to set yourself up for success for sure.
Yeah, you can't just be like, I'm not gonna look at myself and eat like garbage and not do anything, right? You have to work. You still have to work really hard on your off season. But like you said, I think everyone goes through like just looking at yourself differently. How do you control emotions or / deal with relationships during your prep?
With my parents, I was just communicative because my parents literally live 2 buildings down from me. And I was just like, if they wanted to hang out with me or see me, I would be like, I literally can't today. So just communicating what you were feeling and why, and that you would maybe commit to another day or something when you were feeling a little bit better. But as far as like relationships, I think it's easier if you are on prep with your significant other because they're literally probably feeling as depleted as you.
Yes.
I think that my last show was easier on our relationship with Zach and I because we were both on prep. So we were both tired, we were both feeling the same things, and if we got irritable, it was like, whatever. Yeah. But this time he decided he's not going to compete anymore, and I'm getting like super serious about competing. And I know that I wasn't the best partner that I could have been because at a certain point, I'm already not a really touchy-feely person, like at all. And when you're on prep, it gets a lot worse.
It gets way worse.
So I would just, every single day, I think I was just being too self-centered. Everything revolved about me and my prep, and anything that he would do was like intrusive into my life. And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, that is terrible.
Yeah.
So by me doing that and really removing myself emotionally from him so much, after prep, we had to spend a lot of time just building that relationship and trust back because I removed myself so much. So it can be really, really hard. But as long as you're, I think, dedicated to the relationship, because I've never looked at a relationship other than the one with Zach and I as something that can continuously grow. It was just like, you're my partner, cool. That's literally all it was. There wasn't no substance to it. So we've been working and it's been the best it's ever been, I think, even though we went through that time where we were disconnected.
Yeah. No, I think what a lot of people have are concerned about prepping with their significant other, and let me tell you, it is the best thing ever because you both are suffering. So you're not like, you both are a little moody and you both have your own routines, but you guys are both like zoned in, like you both eat the same stuff anyways, so like you help each other out. Like Chris and I would help each other out, and then we both at the end of the day, we didn't want to like have sex, we didn't want to do anything.
You're like,
so
cool, bro.
Cool, we'll just stay here and just eat and chill. Like we're both exhausted and like we were like zombies, but it was kind of nice. But I don't know how it would be now, like if one of us, like I'm very like, if Chris was on prep fully, I think, you know, I would help him out as much as I can help him out, and if I'm not on prep. But I could see him being like you because he is touchy-feely, but when he's on prep, he's full on self-centered. I don't give a crap about anybody else.
I am literally tunnel vision.
Just me. And that can be hurtful sometimes. So
it
we
is.
definitely
And my boyfriend's a lot more sensitive.
Yeah, I am. Well, that's
yes. He's the feminine. I am the more masculine.
Okay.
So it hurts his feelings, and like it's just for me. I'm like literally probably a lot like Chris, tunnel vision. Nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters.
If you want really good relationships with friends and family, that's not how you need to be.
No, you need to like communicate with others and kind of like take a step back and be like, okay, you can be self-centered when it comes to your prep, but you have to make time for those people that care about you.
Because it's not their fault that you're doing this.
Exactly.
This is your decision. And that was the one thing that I had to keep saying this, like, this is your decision. You're deciding that you need to prep and do cardio and train and prioritize all these things. So don't make it their fault.
Right. Next question. Did you ever snack accidentally during prep? Yes. I think to a point, all competitors, I don't want to say.
If they say they don't, they must be lying.
Yeah, because like for me, I never like went and binged or anything. What helped me, and I will say this on camera if my coach is watching at the time, I have really good self-control, but I need chocolate in my life. I do, like, to function. And
chocolate's my favorite.
I would allow myself a little mini, those little mini Reese's, those little mini ones, or a mini Kit Kat every single night. One. And like 5 grams of carbs. One. I would savor that damn chocolate. Like
she'd literally be there like unwrapping it like
this.
Do you ever watch SpongeBob?
Oh yeah.
So remember when he eats the Krabby Patty and he literally brings his teeth out like this? And it's like,
yeah, literally. But that helped me so much this prep. Just kind of keep sanity. Like I was like, and then during, like that was probably like at the 16-week out mark. Once I got closer to like 8 to 6 weeks out, I had it when I really felt like I needed it. So maybe 2 to 3 times a week.
So that you have like almost like a backup. Like if I feel this is my go-to, instead of if I feel this, it goes into like a full-out binge. My last show, I was struggling with binge eating when I got after the summer shredding and the Adela, but this time it was more so I would eat like an excess of vegetable, like I'd have more vegetables, things that were higher volume but lots of lower carbs if I needed it, or like, because I just like to bite on things. Like I like the action of hand to mouth, like sitting and eating. So I would do that, or I would have or I'd do like a shot of sugar-free syrup in my mouth. Or something.
Wow! I think that would help.
Yeah, I was like.
That would help. I think like don't ever feel bad, because I did when I first started prepping. I'm like, wow, I'm such a failure because I had a bite of this cookie. I'm such a failure. And then I started being around more competitors, and they were like, oh no, honey, everybody does it. Yeah. It's not, you don't binge eat, but you'll get in a cookie here and there. Like, you know, like you'll take a bite of something. It's not the end of the world. Like you're human.
Yeah. Just like having like a cookie when you're just like a regular person isn't going to make you gain a bunch of weight.
Right.
It also isn't going to make you super fat or gain weight or anything like that. And on prep, you are going so hard that cookie's most likely not going to do that much. Yeah. As long as you don't make it like a routine, because then you're ruining it.
Yeah, you can't have a cookie every single night or like multiple cookies. But I do know people, Chris, who literally does not eat anything off his damn plan. He is so
I wish I was Chris.
I wish I was Chris too. And then it would make me feel bad because I'm like, I just had a little chocolate. And I'm like, you know what? We're 2 different people. If this is what keeps me sane through my prep, this is what keeps me sane through my prep. Yeah. Everybody occasionally sneaks in a cookie, and if they tell you they don't,
they're lying.
Freaking lying.
Or they're just a freak of nature.
Yeah, like Chris. Whatever. All right. We're almost done, guys. 2 more questions. Number 9, waist trainer thoughts, because we both wear waist trainers.
So for me, I have never used the waist trainer in the way that they're supposed to be used. So a lot of people waist train and they do it like all day, and I've seen people get results from it. So they'll wear it for a long amount of time, and like it actually will start shaping your waist. But I just can't do that. Like I don't want to wear it all day. I wear it because it helps with support. Like I wear it to the gym only and to cardio. So I'm wearing it maybe like a max of like an hour and a half a day. And for me, it's just comfort and like support. That's really all that I like it for. And I also like to do the cream, and that makes me sweat a little bit more. Just makes me feel really good and like I'm putting some work and effort in. That's really the main reason that I use it.
I've waist trained for a while, and right now I'm only using it in the gym as well. So I use it for my gym and my cardio sessions, but during prep I do like to use it a lot, because I notice a lot more results with my waistline when I use it versus when I haven't, because I've done a prep with it and I've done a prep with completely out it, and with it my waist got smaller. I truly believe in waist trainers if like, you know, you have a purpose to it. Like you have to make sure you're on your routine and you're on a diet and everything. It works. Not everyone agrees with it. I know you don't have to agree with waist trainers. I know it, like everyone has their theories. It moves your organs, this and that. But I know that it does provide results. So if you, for me right now, I wear it in the gym because it helps me like keep my core tight. It helps me reduce
like a reminder.
Water weight there. I feel better, especially with IBS. Like me having some support in my stomach helps me out a lot. And just like, it makes me feel really, really good when I wear it. So I wear it for the gym to kind of give me support, keep my core tight, keep my waist small. And I feel like it's like an extra boost when I'm doing
It
cardio.
is.
You know, you're like, my waist is like small.
You're like, yeah, I'm snatched.
I'm snatched.
I love doing it. There's there's like a confidence aspect behind it.
Yes.
But I think that if you really want to see like the results that are supposed to come from it, you need to wear it for like a significant amount of time. You have to wear it the time that they recommend. And me, I just like, I'm not going to do that unless for a show, which I'll probably do this.
Right. Yeah. We both work with Squeeze Me Skinny. If you guys want to try it out,
link will be down below.
Yes. So okay, last question. What are your next competition plans?
So for me, what we're thinking is to compete in August of next year. So I'm gonna spend this entire year building as much as I can. So now that you guys have seen that, like, we went to the Olympia, Jazzy went to the Olympia too in her past video, and just seeing that and seeing what the standard was set for almost, you know, for all the divisions, and for me, for wellness in particular, I'm like, all right, this is what I need to work on. And I've just never been this motivated in my entire life. And that's why I have the phrase now, like, what would Miss Olympia do?
Yeah, that's great.
So I want to be on the Olympia stage next year. I'm going to be on the Olympia stage next year. And I need to act like that person from here on out if that's something that I want to do. Because I know that this is what's for me. Yeah. It's just...
So for you, you would compete in a pro show in August?
Yeah, so
and you have to qualify for Olympia, right?
Yeah, so when you're a pro, you have to qualify for the Olympia. They might do top 2 at a pro show for wellness because they need to get more people in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which would be awesome for me being so new at it.
Wait, so you would just have to get top 2 to qualify for Olympia?
Potentially. If they do it again this year. Yeah. They did that last year or this year to get people into it because there's no one.
Yeah.
So either top 2 at a pro show or you get enough points to qualify. And then once I qualify, then you compete at the Olympia. So that's the goal.
That's great. That is great. So for me, so I just went to Olympia, and as you guys saw, I'm with Dark Sport now, and everything revolves around competing with them. They're top athletes.
They have a lot of... My favorite wellness girls are with them.
Yes.
The top 3.
They look absolutely incredible.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Incredible. They look like Wonder Woman in real life. It's just, I mean, you do too, but it's just insane.
They're like way, I want to be at that level.
It's insane. And my plans were to not compete again. I just loved my lifestyle. I love my lifestyle that I have now. You guys know that. I keep up with my cardio routine. I do really good during like the week. I let myself go out on the weekends with my friends. I love my lifestyle, but being around that, it just set up a fire in my butt, and I'm like,
up my butt.
I'm like, I don't know.
I already decided no, but now I'm so motivated.
I'm so motivated. I want to. And like you guys know, I had a really tough prep last year. I prepped for almost 40 weeks last year.
You did.
So I didn't have the best experience. Like I loved the experience I went through because it made me the woman that I am right now, and like the lifestyle that I have right now, I'm so appreciative of it. So, you know, who knows? I may compete next year if I feel like it's the right time. You know, this whole year I've kind of taken back to just enjoy my life, and I've done so good keeping up with my lifestyle. So maybe prep next year will be even like, I think if I do decide, will be almost easier. For right now, I am heading in the direction of the goal would be to start prep next year in the beginning of the year so that I could compete and hopefully get my pro card next year, and then we'll see how Olympia goes. But just seeing every Olympian athlete up there is just so motivating. It is so motivating to be like the best of the best. And
I don't think it actually hit me like these are literally the best in the world.
In the world.
And it's a hard thing to like realize.
It's hard to realize it like when you're seeing it on your phone, and then when you're there, you're like same thing. I was like, wait, these are like the top, like the best of the best.
Obviously, I think you have competing is anybody can compete, but there takes like a couple of components. It's like your overall look, which is like your face and your physique. It's having some unique quality that makes your body different, and then obviously having the genetics and muscle, and you have those 3 things.
Yeah, thank you.
And obviously, like, I don't want to like push you into doing something you don't want to, but you're just like, if I were to have a bikini physique, it would be like your physique. You and Kerrigan Pike are my favorites.
Oh, thanks.
And it's just, yeah, but it's a hard thing to commit to.
It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing, and like it's hard because like with what I've struggled the most is like, you know, Chris and everyone around me now, like at Dark Sport, they were like, dude, like you could be up there. You have the potential. And Chris is like, if I had your body and I knew that, because I know that you could be great, like why aren't you doing it? He's like, because you could be up there. And I'm like, I know, but it's just, there's a lot to think about. But it's an amazing feeling because you know what it took to get up there. So that's what my plans are, but I'm excited to see you, and I'm glad that you're taking, I think having this year off too is gonna help you out so much. Well, thank you guys so much for the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed it and it wasn't too long, because Chris always tells me I ramble too much, but
I ramble too much too, you guys know.
Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. So, all right guys, so we are done with the Q&A and we're gonna get a workout in just a little bit. So we'll see you guys at the gym. Are you pretty okay with caffeine tolerance? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's up there.
You wanna get your water ready?
It's spicy.
Just don't breathe when you take it in. Don't breathe from your throat either. Yep.
That tastes so good.
It's really good, but it's like
oh my god.
Spicy.
Hey guys, we did some pre-workout. If you can hear me, hopefully you can. And we are at Athletic Empire. We're about to hit glutes and hamstrings because I did shoulders yesterday.
She gotta feel it in your soul. She gotta believe it, you gotta know. She gotta wake up and dream and go get it. Her visionary knows no limit. Do it big so your name be remembered. Play your cards like the hand of a winner. Eat your breakfast but make room for dinner. Got a hunger for success and my dreams get bigger. You're gonna dream big, you better dream large. Blocking lanes on the boulevard. Calling shots cause you're in charge. You're gonna dream big, you better dream large. You're gonna live life like a renegade. Come to the top of your piece of fame. Calling shots cause you're in charge. You're gonna dream big, you better dream large. 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 You say you wanna be famous, a stand 10 feet tall, a rooftop to the basement. You wanna own it all. I see the hunger in your eyes. You wanna flash like a classic car. Got the hustle and the grind. I'll burn hotter than a star. Yeah. This is the time of your life, the moment to live, the moment to shine, the moment to rise and take over the world. I'm on top of everything, on top of my game. Big city life, big city dreams. Think large, go hard, shine light for the ones in the dark. Stay true to yourself and go big from the heart.
We are done with our workout, guys.
I'm so tired.
I know, it's like, how do you feel? Because I feel toasty. I'm roasting and a toasting. I have a feeling that I can't wait to like message her and be like, girl, my butt hurts so bad.
Girl.
If y'all haven't tried the hip thrust on the Smith machine, for me, I have a struggle with doing hip thrust because the setup is annoying. And then if you do it on a machine, sometimes my hamstrings are engaged. So Jazzy was telling me to do it on the Smith machine because it's literally so focused on glutes, and she's completely right. And I'm gonna do that from now on. This is the benefit of training with somebody else that has been doing it longer than you and has a different perspective, because you learn a lot more. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry. And I almost threw up a little bit of my starbs, but it's okay, we held it in. Okay guys, we are on our way home now, back to Austin, Texas. It was so much fun just getting to know Jazzy and like really getting to push myself in my workout, because sometimes like when you train alone, you know, it's hard to hold yourself accountable to like the potential that you know you can do, and you just kind of get in the routine of things. So working out with somebody else that has the same drive and motivation just really helps boost your motivation and drive. She's super sweet. She's literally exactly how I thought she would be. The person that she puts on social media and how just inspiring and genuine she is, and real and raw, that's exactly who she is in person. So I was looking for a Chipotle so I can get some food, and I passed the only Chipotle, and then now if the drive to Houston or from Houston to Austin, there's like a really long strip of just like nothing. So I stopped at a gas station to get a Muscle Milk protein, really high calorie or high protein, low calorie drink, so I can just hold me over until I can get some actual food, because I need substance, like chicken, like some beef. I need some protein. So this will do for now, and then if I do get some food, I'll see you then.
Never sleeping on the floor. Now my jewelry box froze. Fuck a bowl, fuck a stove. Counted millions in a coat. Bad bitch, booty swole. Got her on bankroll. Can't fold, just a no. Headshot, case closed.
What's up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and you're listening to the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to motherfucking reality. Told you.
If you guys haven't listened to Andy Frisella's podcast, he is the CEO of First Form, the supplement company that I stand by 100%. He is just hilarious, and he is just so real and raw. And if you have the personality that's like a real, like, no BS kind of personality, he is the person for you. He is one of my favorites. Another favorite is obviously Emily Hayden, who's also a First Form athlete. She is has her own podcast, and I was on it if you guys didn't see that episode, but she's incredible. And then another one is Ed Milet, if you guys have ever listened to his. He's incredible. He has a ton of amazing guests on his podcast, and I just love those three, but they are my favorite right now, and I listen to them when I have these long drives so that I can learn something and be educated and be smarter.
Baby, hi. Nice to see you. I'm sorry I was gone all day. Hi, Reese.
Vision, don't get on Reese. Okay, guys, I am starving, so I am going to make a meal that I made yesterday that is so good, and it's basically chips and tacos. So it's guac, chips, and tacos, like everything that you could ever want, being a Hispanic woman, but lower calorie. So I am going to use the lower carb tortillas for the tacos. So I have 2 of those, and then I'm going to use one of these flat out multi-grain. This is the 100 calorie one. They usually have a 90 calorie one, but I haven't been able to find it. And I'm going to use this one for the chips. So I'm just gonna cut it up into like a little chip slices, and I'm gonna put it in the air fryer so we can make the chips.
So the breaks come.
All right, so I'm just going to lay them in the air fryer, and then I am going to hit them with a little bit of the 0 calorie olive oil spray. And then to give them a little spice, I'm gonna put this on top of it. And then I'm gonna put it in the air fryer, I wanna say for about 5 minutes to start with, and then we'll see. All right, I was gonna use turkey, but I don't have enough. So I'm gonna put 3 ounces of chicken. So this chicken's already cooked, and I'm really just trying to heat it up. And then I'm gonna mix eggs with it because I like meat and eggs, the combo, so much. And then we'll get our tortillas going on here. Boop. If you guys don't have one of these, definitely get one. These are like legit. They cook your tortillas the right way. So minor setback, the flat out bread, do not use those to make chips because they are way too flimsy. I should have just gone with my gut and used the tortillas. But I only had one and I wanted more chips, so I tried to use the other one and it didn't work. So I'm just gonna cut this one up and do the same thing I did and make the crispy chips. Our yummy and delicious meal We have our chicken tacos. You can literally do this with anything. I do it with beef and I do it with turkey, fat-free sour cream, and some Taco Bell sauce. Some very questionable guac. I already tasted it. It's good. It just like when you get it pre-made, it always turns brown so fast. And our little chippies, they did much better with the regular tortillas. So I would definitely do that instead. Hi guys, it is the next morning and I am so exhausted from yesterday. Every time that I get one of those like killer leg workouts, it like knocks me out for the rest of the day. So I slept in a little bit and I feel really good. I still got my cardio in, which is awesome. But there's something that has been on my mind since I was driving and listening to a podcast, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it really hit home when I heard it. So I was listening to a podcast of Ed Milet interviewing Tim Grover. Tim Grover was the basically like a mindset coach for Kobe Bryant and for Michael Jordan, I believe. And the episode was about winning. And it just got me thinking about the Olympia and how bad I really want it, and that I'm going to do anything that I need to do, and nothing is going to stop me. And my focus has to be just laser focused on what I want. So it just got me, you know, even more motivated than I needed to be. But the one thing that I realized too is that when I went to Olympia and I was watching these competitors compete on stage, the thing that made the winner set out differently from the rest, because you're talking about like the #1 people in each division of the entire world all on stage together. Like that's nuts. To get to that elite level of athleticism and strength and discipline and grit is something that only a percentage of people will get to in their lives. And the one thing I noticed out of the winner of each category was the winner wanted it more than the rest. And I want to explain to you what I mean by that. And I believe everybody on that stage really wanted to win. I do. But when they stepped on that stage, each winner, you can just tell that there was something in them, something that was just undeniable. There was a fire, there was a grit, there was a undeniability about them that they stepped on that stage and said, like, this is my stage, like I own this stage. And when I saw the wellness winner, the first wellness winner ever, Francielle, step on that stage, I was recording her and watching her posing routine. I literally said in the video, wow, she wants it. Because she did. She wanted it like a 0.5%, like it could be so small. She wanted it 0.5% more than everybody else did. And that is what made the difference. You know, all of their bodies are obviously incredible. So it's a really hard decision to make. But that's just kind of what sets the winners apart. You know, you have to just want it that much more. You have to push that much longer. You know, you have to be the one to not give up when everybody else is giving up. And it's just a huge, humbling reminder of our potential. You know, like, you can see all these people competing at this level, and a lot of people think that they'll never get there, but you'll never get there because you think that you'll never get there. You'll never get there because you quit before you're actually done. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was something that's been on my mind, and it's been, like I said earlier in the video, my mantra right now, just to get me to do the things that I don't want to do, because your mind is going to chat with you. It's going to chatter, 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 and tell you to do the opposite of what you really want to do, because it's too hard, or you're tired, or you're sleepy, or you're hungry. And to quiet that down, just talk to your future self. You know, I just tell my future self, you know, what would Miss Olympia do? What would Miss Wellness Olympia do? What would somebody who was stepping on the Olympia stage do? And that's who I want to be. So, hope that helps anybody. Comment below any thoughts that you have about that. It was just something that's been on my mind. And as always, I love you all so much, and you are more powerful than you think. Bye!